Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is the paper talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford as usual, and the weather's pretty mild. It's almost ready to take mid-Parker weather off. As you'd expect, most of the talk this morning in the papers centres around United's result at Molinuex yesterday. That 2-1 win, extending the unbeaten away record for the entire season. United going an entire Premier League season away from home without tasting defeat. Pretty impressive. What was more impressive as well was the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously shuffled his pack ahead of the Europa League final against Villarreal in Gdansk this week. He decided to make several changes, bringing in a lot of youngsters, and it worked. We got the 2-1 win. One of those youngsters who obviously had a big impact was Anthony Elanga. He got his goal, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was full of praise for him. He said, talking about the players, he said, I was very proud of the players today. They were excellent, seeing people expressing themselves, enjoying themselves. It was a game in the spirit of Manchester United. Sir Alex and Sir Matt, that you give these players a chance. I agree. I think it's a terrific achievement to go a whole season with no defeats away from home. We knew that by making these changes, we took a risk of losing that record, but we made everyone proud with a fantastic performance. The great thing about that as well, of course, is it rested players for the Europa League final. It was a bit of a sort of gamble that Ole had to take, but I thought he made the right one. Obviously, he could have played a stronger team yesterday and tried to make sure of that unbeaten away record, but that would have left players a little bit knackered going into the game against Villarreal on Wednesday. So he didn't do that. He went for it. He rested him so we can go for it properly on Wednesday, and it worked. We got the result yesterday, so no matter what happens on Wednesday, you can't say, well, he should have played this or he should have done that, because he was right to rest his first team players. Also, full of praise for Anthony Elanga, who got that first goal as well. He said, maybe what you don't see is his attitude, desire and personality. He has a great attitude, he's really humble, works really hard. He's got some attributes that you wish for as a player, that pace, that directness. He is right-footed, but equally good on his left. I've not seen him score headers, so that is a big bonus as well. Yeah, I was saying this earlier on before the game in the preview. Anthony Elanga, who played against Leicester here, didn't really do himself justice that day. He was a little bit quieter. He kept it nice and steady, kept it safe, kept possession, but he didn't really get at the Leicester defence, and that's what he's good at. We've seen that for the under-18s, under-23s, and yesterday we saw him sort of taking off the brakes, fully went for it, played a little bit further up than he did against Leicester City, and had a couple of chances early doors that didn't go his way, but kept going and got his goal as well after a great ball from Dan James. So that's good to see as well. And also it gives you that sort of that boost as a player. You've got young players there who are doing well. Hannibal Medri came on as well. I think Will Fish came on. So youngsters getting a taste of football, first team football, and obviously we're resting. We're resting the players that we need to for the Europa League final. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was speaking about that as well. He said, if we had played yesterday, I probably would have picked a different team. I'm glad I didn't, because it's the first win I've had here. Fair play to La Liga, moving 7 games just for Villarreal to have had another day of preparation. They could have played tonight and rested players against Real Madrid. It could have been a different result, and you never know. That could have changed. Good by them, and we have to think about it ourselves, definitely. We did not ask the Premier League, but of course whenever we can help our own teams we should do it. So he's talking about La Liga moving fixtures around to give their teams a better chance in Europe, something that maybe the Premier League could look at, because they've never helped us before. You saw it, I think it was after the Everton game, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was quite angry. He said that they'd set us up to fail when we had that game. I think we had the game, was it Wednesday night, Saturday morning, I think it was, and he said, I think they said they set us up to fail. So he wasn't happy about that. And he's sort of saying there that maybe the Premier League can look at it and make life a little bit easier for English teams when they go into Europe, if we can move fixtures around, because it would be better for us if, I was going to say if English teams win in Europe, but it wouldn't. It'd just be better if Manchester United win in Europe. Although it'd be quite good if Chelsea win in Europe this weekend. Well, not good, but better than City winning anyway. Also yesterday was the fact that Juan Mata perhaps played his last game for the club, got his goal, of course. We'll have to wait and see whether he's going to stay. He was speaking after the game and he said, I don't know, I don't really know. In 3 days we have an important game, and that's where my mind is, but I still think I can play good football and give a lot to the team and enjoy for many years playing football like today. That's my mentality. Juan Mata has been a great servant for Manchester United since he came in and around, was it 2014, I think, in the January transfer window. Been one of our best post-Fergie signings for me. Always tries his best, always gets some important goals, and has been a part in winning some trophies as well. People will say, well, he wasn't as good or he wasn't as effective as at Chelsea, but I think Juan Mata has been a very good player for Manchester United. Also a great character to have around. He's one of those just immensely likeable footballers, but we don't just like players because of what they do off the pitch. We like him what they do on the pitch, and on the pitch Juan Mata has been He's been excellent at times for Manchester United, and if he stays, I don't think anyone will be too disappointed. Personally, though, I think it might be time for him to move on. He's not played that many games this season, and I think, you know, a player like him should be playing first-team football regularly, and hopefully if he gets some moves, maybe goes abroad, back to Spain, or maybe even Italy, he can play a lot more football and play at a good standard as well. I think he's still got a lot to offer, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Anthony Elanga himself was talking about his debut. Go back to him. He said, my debu's still not sunk in yet. The fact I've scored today, that's still not sunk in yet either. It's just an amazing feeling starting in the Premier League for the club that I've supported since I was young. I'm just so happy. It's been a proud day for the club. We've been playing with each other, meaning Elanga, Fish and Medjugorje, in the under-23s this season. But to be playing with each other at the end of the Premier League season is incredible. It's a brilliant day. I'm never going to forget my debut. Never mind forget this goal either. Rightly so. You know, he's obviously buzzing and I'm buzzing for him. It's great for him to see him get a goal, like I said earlier. In terms of transfers, I know we always lack a bit of a transfer rumour, don't we? Harry Kane is the one that everyone's been talking about. Gary Neville was talking about yesterday. He was more or less speculating, really, rather than sort of giving any concrete, you know, ITK stuff. When he was talking about could Manchester United get Harry Kane, he said, talking about the fact that, you know, it also looks like City could be interested in him. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. He says City don't tend to break their budget these days. It's 65 million to 75 million. They're not going to go for him for that, to get him for that, sorry. So it's whether they could get a player to Tottenham and would make weight the deal. And I think that's United maybe have in Martial. Sorry, that's what United maybe have. Get my words out. In Martial, James and Lingard. He's looking at maybe Dan James, Anthony Martial and Jesse Lingard could be used to make it. They're the type of players you could send there, plus a chunk of money, and it might make the deal happen. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens with some of them players. Looks like Jesse Lingard could be on his way, to be honest with you. Dan James, I'm not so sure about. He played yesterday, of course, got an assist. Fluffed his lines a little bit when he went through on goal. Well, fluffed his lines massively when he went through on goal after that great ball from Amad Diallo, who I thought was excellent as well, incidentally, yesterday. So maybe we could use a few players as a makeshift in that deal. We'll have to wait and see, in that deal. Could rumble on this one during the summer. This could be our new Jadon Sancho. Remember last summer it was all about him. Maybe we're going to get him this summer, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this one it'll be a Harry Kane. Some of the numbers being sort of spoken about of Harry Kane, 130, 140, 150 million. I don't think Manchester United are going to pay that. I don't even know if he goes to that either as well. Most people say, well, that's what you're going to have to pay for a player who scores you basically 30 goals every single season. But 150 million for a player who's turning 28 soon. His injury record isn't bad, but it's not fantastic. I just don't know if that's going to happen. We know he wants to leave Spurs. We've had all this sort of business with the pandemic as well, where a lot of clubs are tightening the purse strings. You have to look at how many clubs can actually afford him and are in for him as well. And plus, if Daniel Levy knows if he doesn't sell him this summer, he's going to have to get less for him next summer. I don't know. I just don't know whether he is going to be 150 million. I think you might even end up getting Harry Kane for less than 100 million. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but we'll have to wait and see. Also on the sort of injury front, if we go back to United's game against Villarreal, was obviously Harry Maguire. Is he going to be able to play? It's looking doubtful. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's talking about it. He said, of course he wants to play. It'll be up to the doctors to see how he is, but it doesn't look great. Ever the optimist, I'm still hopeful for him. I mean, it's not looking good for Harry Maguire. I was here at the premiere of the Sir Alex Ferguson Never Give In film the other day. Interviewed Fergie. I don't like to talk about it though, but it is up on the channel if you want to check it out. Harry Maguire was here, he was walking around, he looked good, but that doesn't mean a lot. You know, footballers don't walk around the pitch, do they? Have to run. So is he going to be fit enough? He hasn't really trained. I think they're going to give him a bit of training over in Poland to see how he is. But you feel for him, man, because he's played so many games for Manchester United, and now it looks like he could miss the big one and lift that chance to lift the trophy. Unless, of course, he wants to do a John Terry, put his shin pads and his kit on if we win, and go out there and pick it up like he played in the game anyway. You never know. Also on transfer rumours, go back to transfer rumours as well. Yuri Tielemans, who's been linked with United, sort of. Obviously, Leicester City midfielder's had a very good season, scored that wonder goal, didn't he, against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Now, he posted a picture, or a picture's been posted of him on the pitch, clapping and doing a sort of lap of honour on his own. And a few people are speculating, there's reports coming out in the Leicester press that photo has worried Leicester City fans amid Manchester United transfer links. The midfielder has yet to finalise a contract with the club after a wonderful season at the King Power. And it says that Leicester City fans fear Yuri Tielemans could be set to leave the club after he was photographed doing a lap of honour on his own after their defeat to Spurs. Leicester, of course, missing out on Champions League football. That adds to the speculation that maybe Tielemans could be looking to move on, and maybe Manchester United could be his destination. Very good midfielder, could do a job here as well. I would welcome Yuri Tielemans. You will have to pay top dollar though if you buy a player from Leicester. We saw that with Harry Maguire. We've seen it with their players in the past. They do sell players. They sold Maguire, they sold Riyad Mahrez, they sold Ben Chilwell, sold N'Golo Kante, but they don't sell them for peanuts. You do have to pay Leicester a bit of a premium because they have got owners that give a toss, unlike ours, about the club and aren't skint. So you can get players from Leicester, but you have to pay for him and pay a bit of a chunk of money as well. So we'll have to wait and see whether Tielemans ends up coming to Manchester United as well. It's one of those, there's not been a lot of sort of fire to that smoke, if you will. He's not been a sort of the top of the rumour mill, but we'll have to wait and see whether perhaps that is a deal that can be made. I certainly won't be complaining if it is. And just finally as well, there was a little bit of a intrigue, shall we say, last night on social media. Marcus Rashford responding to a tweet about him. The United Report, of course, tweeting that they took a bit of a clip of an interview he'd done with The Guardian where he spoke about maybe one day playing abroad. Marcus Rashford responded saying that was taken out of context. Then the journalist who'd written the article responded with a clip of it. All seems a bit of a storm in a teacup, and I think the main sort of gist we can take from all of that is that Marcus Rashford is perfectly happy at Manchester United. He said that you can never say never about playing abroad, but he's happy at United. So yeah, I don't think there's too much to get our sort of knickers in a twist about on that one. This has been the Paper Talk. I've been Jay. Don't forget to check out the rest of the channel as well. They've got that interview with Fergie that I've spoken about, even though I don't like to talk about it. It's up there if you want to go and have a look at it. We'll also have a Premier League P-Take later on with Adam McCullough and Joe Smith. We've got a big interview coming up as well later on. Check that out, man. You want to check that out, trust me. And the Paddock podcast this afternoon. Don't forget as well to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.